Hello, my name is Nick Park from Evangelical Alliance Ireland, and this is our weekly video entitled It's Friday but Sunday's Coming. As well as my work with Evangelical Alliance, I'm also the pastor of a local church in Drogheda. And like pastors up and down the country, in this last year, I've got so used to recording online services. In fact, I calculated that so far in the past year, our church has met every Sunday that it has been legal for us to meet. And that's been about 13 Sundays. And even then, we still recorded an online version of the service for those that weren't able to be with us. So one of the things about the online services is it reminds me of something that I experienced many years ago, 42 years ago to be exactly. I was 16 years old and I was working as an apprentice electrician. I was also homeless at the time. And I was working on a job at the BBC Broadcasting House in Belfast. We were rewiring a lot of new studios in that place. And because I was homeless, I would go and eat all my meals in the subsidised canteen because they had a great canteen and you could buy food for less than it would cost you to buy the ingredients to cook the same meals. And often I would be there in the BBC canteen and I would see members of staff coming in and I would see the people, for example, the newsreaders. And this was back in the day when newsreaders dressed even more formally than they do now. And I would see the newsreaders coming in with their jackets and their shirts and their ties and then wearing a pair of shorts or a pair of jeans underneath, which really tickled me no end. But I thought, well, it makes sense. All you see on the screen is their head and shoulders. And well, some of us have got like that with our online services. You know, we sit at the camera, looking at the camera the way we are now, and we could be wearing jeans or shorts or whatever. Well, this Sunday, as I've been planning our online service, I've not just been thinking about what I'm going to say, but I've actually been thinking about what I'm going to wear. And the reason why I've been thinking so much about it is because this Sunday is a very special day. It's the 21st of March, and that is World Down Syndrome Day. And so I've been thinking about the socks that I'm going to wear. And here's the pair of socks that I'm going to wear when I preach to the Solid Rock Church in Drogheda in our online service this Sunday. Now, I know they don't match. In fact, I've got another pair downstairs just the same as these. Why am I doing that? Well, this is something that people will be doing all around the world on Sunday because chromosomes, which is of course what the condition of Down syndrome is all about, having an extra chromosome, chromosomes actually look like socks. If you see a diagram of the chromosomes in a normal human body, they look like socks. And also they're in pairs. But when somebody has Down syndrome, there's one of the groups of chromosomes, instead of being duplicate, they are triplicate, and it's the 21st group. And so therefore, 21 has 3, and 21-3 is the 21st of March. And that's why the 21st of March is celebrated around the world as World Down Syndrome Day. And so the reason why I and many other people will be wearing odd socks is to celebrate the contribution that people with Down syndrome make into so many people's lives around the world and in this nation of ours. Now, I know that a couple of years ago, there was a lot of talk about children with Down syndrome because of the abortion referendum that was taking place. And I still think it is one of the worst injustices perpetrated in the world today is the fact that unborn children are aborted because they have a condition. Often they have a condition such as Down syndrome. I actually think that is such a barbaric thing, and I believe that future generations will look back at us in the same way we look back at generations that tolerated slavery or making children work up chimneys or other kind that had allowed dog fights, animal baiting, all these kind of things. I believe that we will look back, other generations will look back on this generation and see us as equally barbaric because of the practice of aborting unborn children because they had a condition such as Down syndrome. I'm not trying to romanticize this. As somebody who had a special needs child myself, I know how hard it is to care for a child with special needs. And with a condition such as Down syndrome, it varies greatly. Some people with Down syndrome can lead entirely independent lives, achieve amazing things. Others have more profound educational needs and need constant care. So I am aware that Down syndrome, it's not always the same. There's different manifestations of it, and it can be very hard for families. But my experience with those of my friends who have Down syndrome and with their families and with their parents in particular has been, although it's not always been easy, every one of them says how much their lives have been enriched by having this member of their family with Down syndrome, and how their life would be much poorer without them. And so today, on World Down Syndrome Day, we celebrate diversity. We celebrate the fact, by wearing the odd socks, we celebrate the fact that not everybody is the same, that we are different, and it takes different people to make up a different world. And in some nations now, we're finding that people with Down syndrome are being treated differently. For example, when they contract COVID and are treated in hospital, some are even have do not resuscitate orders put upon them, because the idea is that their lives aren't really worth living as much as other people's. And that's awful. That is an absolute denial of humanity and human rights. And so this year, Down Syndrome Day falls on a Sunday. And so as I preach my online service, I will be wearing odd socks. I might even lift my legs in the air and wave my ankles at the camera. I don't know about that. But I would encourage you, maybe you too could wear odd socks this Sunday to just remember the amazing contribution to our nation's life of so many young people and even older people with Down syndrome. And it would be wonderful as well is if you could make a donation to Down Syndrome Ireland. If you go to their website, downsyndrome.ie, and as soon as you go on the website, you'll see up at the top, you'll see a donate button. And it would be lovely just to make a donation to the wonderful work that they do. And I thank God today for organizations such as the Special Olympics and others that do such a wonderful job in celebrating the achievements of those children who are born with Down syndrome and whose life is worth living and whose life is worth celebrating. And so today, I'm delighted to say that it might be Friday, but Sunday's coming, and Sunday will be a day when I personally, and I believe many Christians across this nation, will be celebrating the wonderful contribution that those with Down syndrome have made to families and churches and communities up and down this wonderful land of Ireland. May God bless you. It might be Friday, but Sunday's coming.